is way too much damage. Stop him with the block! He fell Churchill!
Oh, and he found
wow.
Wow.
Oh,
And he gets out!
Somewhere there's a covert muffin just applauding this scene.
Holy crap.
Oh man, this is gonna come down to execution in the final escape, isn't it?
Sure is.
Every scene
Our
does.
favorite phrase.
Welcome back everyone to the second match today of our Ori 2021 randomizer tournament, this one featuring Foopyo and Turtle. I am still Samsus and Solarian is gonna be joining me on commentary for this match. Solarian, wanna talk a bit about our runners?
Yeah, of course. So our runners, Foopyo and Turtle, they're well, I want to talk a bit about Foopyo here, and well, he's a controller player. Has a if he's comfortable with that, of course, that's what he should play. But has a bit of a disadvantage to a Turtle who plays on keyboard and mouse, and since his last race, he hasn't played much, and he's a bit scared of this race. And well, he would like a seed that would be not too filled with good stuff, but not too slow either. So he likes to find skills like double jump and glide before opening the seed up. So, what can you tell me about Turtle?
Yeah, interesting. Our runners basically want the exact same thing and have kind of the same history here. Turtle hasn't really played Blind Forest at all in the last 2 weeks, been playing a bit of Will of the Wisp instead, and also wants the exact same thing, you know, get some double jump, maybe some glide, a lot of energy, don't go too fast, don't do wall interaction blue breakage for 30 minutes either though. The one thing that comes to mind is that Turtle did do a lot of commentary, so there's 0% chance he's getting rendered or gonna do any spaghetti whatsoever. His own words, I'm gonna just believe him on that. As we are starting right away into our race, our runners on the countdown, getting ready to load into the seat. Yeah, bit of mouse movement, and then any moment we are good to go. Let's go. All right, Solarian, I gotta ask you the one important question. What is gonna be on the first pickup?
Oh, that's very difficult. I think this time we'll get a clean water start.
Clean water. All right, that's a dangerous one. I'm gonna go with 16 experience points. We are gonna see the opening any moment. It's a map
Oh, it's a
zone.
map stone. Okay.
Alright, so that means nothing for now. Gonna see a bit more what our runners are gonna get in their first few pickups. Well, Turtle's Wish is through the first energy cell. It's in fact an energy cell, as it always is and always will be in Randomizer. Energy being needed to save the game and playing the game without saving is just a very, very brutal experience, so we are not randomizing that. But yeah, we found our first kill, huh?
So this first skill we found is charge jump, and basically it's in a name. It allows you to charge jump, which then goes really high, and it basically allows you to get a lot of verticality really fast. And well, Foopyo hoped a bit for this kind of C-jump start, and really it's the tournament that's doing it. There have been a lot of C-jump starts in this tournament.
Yes, and both of as you mentioned, right? This is the charge jump tournaments, and both our runners are going for the meta play here. If you have a charge jump start, you do not check the third and the fourth pickup instead, especially with the ability sets our runner got. You just head straight into Blackwood Barrows, and this will be our first instance of save anywhere right here.
So save anywhere is a trick that allows us to trick the game into thinking we've saved and watched a cutscene, and allows us to save, well, as in the name, anywhere we want. So this is used to skip cutscenes or even perform little tricks like dropping through through a laser or some other stuff. So this is really useful, and we will be seeing our runners doing this a lot more in this race.
Yes, indeed. And interestingly, so far, our runs are Foopyo taking small depth. These platforms are very slippery, and Shafjump does not provide any grips on the walls. It's not wall entanglement, so easy to fall off here. Doesn't lose too much time since there's a safety save right on the right. But yeah, our upper pickup was the second energy cell. There is a kind of progression type where you get 4 energy and open some doors. And well, we just found wall jumps. So speaking of
Yeah,
slippery platforms.
there's the one direction you wanted.
Yeah, our runners won't have any more problems with that. Alright, on the right you can see, oh, on the left too, you can see both of our runners going for the micro ledge, but Turtle kind of jumping off of the micro ledge or holding right a bit too much, slipping into the spikes, meanwhile Foopyo using it to get up all the way. There is an alternative method where you Alt-R instead of charge jumping back up, but that is lower, so our runners instead opting to use the charge jump, get back up, skip some
Oh
of the...
no.
Oh no, Turtle falls a bit into it, will take a death to reset, does not want to deal with that at all, is now gonna hop up and this time hopefully not fall into the gigantic pit below. Ah,
Oh no, he does it again. Oh.
yeah, the BRB
Yeah,
pit claims another
this
soul today.
this jump looks easy, but it's really precise to jump from over this gap with just a single jump. So I can understand having a bit of trouble there.
Yeah, Turtle adjusting, no longer going for the charge jump, which bonked him. Oh my god, we just found Bash
Oh,
behind the Crushers!
oh, that's really interesting. So Bash is considered by most the most powerful skill in the game. It allows us to um, bash off projectiles and enemies in any direction we want, and there. Oh, so I have to interrupt my explaining here because we just found grenade. You want to talk about grenade a bit?
Oh my god, I think Foopyo, the controller runner, is gonna hate us right now. So, grenade, throws a grenade, oh my
Oh my
god,
god.
I can't even, let me just try to sort all of this while Foopyo is, doing lava glitch to go into background. So, let's start at the beginning. Grenade, you throw a grenade, it deals damage, it breaks blue things, very nice. Blue things are walls and can contain pickups. Bash, you can bash off a grenade. Bash grenade means you can go wherever you want to, and controller runners generally don't like it because bash grenade is painful on controller. And then we also found Stomp. So Stomp does what it says. It stomps down, breaks floors, good time all around. Turtle just getting his bash will probably laugh a lot once he gets his grenade and Stomp soon. But with this, we already know quite a bit. Bash was hard locked by Dash in the seat, so an early Dash is an option here. That also means Bash Nade is distinctively not for use in Nordic, if our runners want to remind it. But with Charge Jump, Stomp, Grenade, and Wall Jump, the entire right side of the map is open. So,
Yeah.
well, we have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, it's a really great seed here with all these skills to start, and we can see Foopyo heading into the Moon Grotto area by using the Fonky to stomp this pack, maybe not realizing that he has Storm. So he will be going into Moon Grotto now, which is a very dense and often visited area in this game.
Yeah, and there's one small problem here on Turtle's side. Turtle did not care about the BRB pit, so he will not be getting grenade, and Bash grenade is a lot stronger than just Bash, so he will probably be sad, especially if he goes to like Grotto or something and cannot break plants. Speaking of Grotto and plants, Foopyo already found his water vein, one of the 3 dungeon keys and one of the 2 we absolutely require to beat the seed. Goal of the seed is obviously, as always, to collect all 10 vanilla skill locations, affectionately called trees, even though one is a feather. and the water vein is access to the Ginza tree, which contains one of these. But well, I guess it doesn't matter because there's another form of blue breakage right here. Charge Flame is also right here at the start of the seed.
Yeah, so this seed is amazing. There are all these skills everywhere, and just on the way, not like far out of place. So and I thought maybe Turtle had a bit of a disadvantage here with not having the ability to break plants, and well, both Stomp and Water Vein were in plants, but now he has, so that's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, and well, yeah, all right,
Oh,
he
and he
did
goes down.
he did remember when he got stuck in front of the keystone door. He remembered, oh wait, I forgot to check this. Goes down here, finds grenade. Gonna be happy about that. Now has his bash grenade. Will probably not skip dash plant because we all know dash plant is always something in this tournament, and in this case, it's actually true. There's Stomp it there. Will get that in any moment, showing off that bash
Yeah.
grenade to get up here without a hitch. Has a Stomp, can now follow in Foopyo's footsteps. Very nice, as Foopyo gets its second tree at the double jump tree and will now be heading up over into the starting area of the game into Glades.
Yeah. And he checks this pickup up here, which has this little lantern that opens the door. And having grenade is really nice because these lanterns actually hard lock some pickups. And if an important pickup is locked behind, and as Foopyo finds charge flame, if an important pickup is locked behind such a lantern, the seed can stretch out very long because of the search for grenade. So owners will be pretty happy to have found that.
But eyes on the right, Turtle is setting up for a nice double zombie here, gets through the laser, is now also locked out from going further into the green tree though, because he will need to spend some extra ability points. Oh, ouch! That's a banning. Don't bash the banning. Kinda has to angle these double bashes where you first choose a direction for the enemy and then for Ori, and if they are right straight, you're gonna face plant into the enemy. What just happened right there? Adjusts on the second try, can now go into this, remembers that he doesn't have enough ability points, and skips this cutscene with another use of save anywhere. This saves approximately 8.3 years.
Yeah, probably longer, but we'll never know because we never watched that cutscene. So, this is a seed that opened up really quickly, and we saw runners like in a lot of areas in the game, and we see Foopyo on the right heading into a valley entry, and this is the entrance to the left side of the map, which has 3 trees we need to visit. So we will be seeing if Foopyo decides to go further with his bash and stomp after he checks this tree here, or if he chooses to take another route.
Speaking of tree, this is the third tree for Foopyo. We already found one dungeon but wanna talk about that Sunstone and Blackroot right here?
Oh, so Sunstone is the dungeon key for the last dungeon in the game, Mount Ho. We absolutely need the Sunstone because we need to go into Mount Ho to see like half a second of it and then enter the final escape, which is the end of any randomizer seed. So that Sunstone being in Blackroot could potentially be quite bad for runners because there are a lot of slow pickups in Blackroot. Of course, as in every area, there are a lot of fast ones too, so we will be seeing if one of our runners decides to go into Blackwood early with this too.
Yeah, I would be actually surprised if our runners start their Sunstone dig at the start and not at the end of the seed, since you can always pick up more resources, more skills on the way to the trees. But it is certainly an option, and as long as Foopyo gets enough health or ability sets for ultra defense, He knows he can definitely get the Sunstone no matter where it is, so that will not be a problem. Already 10 ability sets in just 11 minutes into the game, so we have all the
Yeah.
zombies we want. This is also red, but it is useless. Finding warmth returned on the Glades loop. Hopefully he's happy and cozy with having that, and we'll now head over to his 4th tree down here.
Yeah, and we will be seeing Turtle shortly after opening this little platform here, getting his water vein from that plant. He moves his mouse around as he's very happy about that. So he will not be worrying about water vein any longer.
Yeah, I would think so too. So, oh, the Swamp Teleporter is actually a super nice shortcut, giving us a shortcut right into the Ginsu tree once our runners want to go there. Of course, the Ginsu tree has a nice 4 keystone or cool seed. I do not expect anyone to go there ever this seed, but so the Ginza tree has a 4 keystone door, and our runners are super staffed on keystone, as is tradition for this kind of absolute jet seed. You either get a lot of keystones, or you get a lot of ability sets, or a lot of skills. Never all 3 of them. And in this case, it is the keystones that are suffering. So our runners will probably take a little longer until they wanna head to those keystone locked areas, that being the Storm Tree, the Ginso tree with the Bash tree inside, a bit of a treeception going on there, and
Yeah.
the Sorrow Chargem tree. On the right and on the left, oh my god, we're getting double save anywhere tech. On the right,
Yeah.
Turtle setting up for a save drop here, needs to save the game after dying and being in the air, will reload, and through the laser he goes into the ground and skips doing the 4 energy stuff. Gets one ability cell and a bit
And
of
a bit
XP
of
for his trouble. Nothing too big.
And Foopyo is doing the grenade throw arena here. This is really finicky, but he gets it eventually. And actually, did he go into grenade here? Grenade tree? I think he didn't. He just sat in front of the laser and then turned back. So he will be checking these lower pickups and then probably will head up into the grenade area.
Yeah, indeed. So far, we just see some extra checks, because if the Sunstone is right here, you do not want to put it off for a revisit, right? But if it is in lower Lost Grove, I could see our runner either keep that for later or do it now for extra keystones. Both are honestly fine choices at this point. We obviously know that our runners will not be hardlocked by anything this seed, but resource staffment is always a thing, and there are some truly terrible locations inside the Lost Grove area. But for now, our runners here, Turtle having 2 keystones, can now head over to the double jump tree, will not be locked out of that, as Foopyo really wants to keep his keystone, and now being on 0 health and energy, kinda has to be a bit more careful, gets the crystal for safety, and can now head up back into the main area of
He
Blackwood.
needed that keystone for Ginso, so I really support this decision to go for that again, even after a few deaths. So we will be seeing him shortly going to the grenade tree, and probably after that he will head into the Ginso tree. The area we normally need to go for clean water, but well, it's randomizer, so we just go there for the tree.
Yes, indeed. And Foopyo trying to go for the one save timing, doesn't quite get it, but luckily the backup, just as we saw with Turtle, is just do another save anywhere. Spends 2 of his ability sets, still a lot of zombies left, will now do the spinning laser strat. Oh, bonks his head on the ceiling, does must have hurt both the bonk and the incineration right afterwards. We'll give it a few more tries and will then save another 8.3 years on the cutscene skip and can get his grenade tree, maybe after clearing out the area for a potential sunstone. Meanwhile, Turtle on the right is teleporting away from Glades into Blackroot and will now be probably heading back into Blackroot and starting his search for the sunstone.
Yeah, I'm really surprised because earlier you mentioned, and I agree with that. Probably one should wait to go to Blackroot, but these runners have chosen to go to Blackroot quite early, so they didn't go left side first. So this is an interesting choice. Can you maybe explain why the runners could do that?
So there are multiple things here, right? First of all, Turtle is kind of in the same situation as Foopyo was earlier, where he's at one keystone after all of that. So, well, you gotta put in 2 keystones into the Swamp Door, at least 4 keystones into Ginsu, and another 4 keystones into Sorrow. If you only have 1 in total, that's a lot of key duping required right there, and probably don't want to deal with that. Then you need to go down here anyway at some point because you need the Sunstone. There's one skill that can really speed this up, which is Dash, but with how early logic of the seed was, we might as well have not gotten the Dash, the Dash clue at all, since basically the entire right side of the map is open anyway. So if our runners decide to go here for resources, that is definitely a play they can make, and we've seen both of our runners go for it here.
Yeah, and it's interesting, but well, we have seen that Bash was locked by Dash behind those crushers. You absolutely need Dash to get behind those crushers in logic, but we go over them all the time, so our runners are very comfortable with that trick. But so we know that Dash has to be somewhere on the right side because, well, to get to the left side we need Bash. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe our runners will find Dash in some of the pickups here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if it is maybe right here in the Ginza tree. Ginza tree is a very dense area and really likes to hide things. Normally, this is a bunch of double jumping across tight platforms, but with Bash Grenade, we kinda... Well, the dungeon kinda is 2 series of gauntlets. The first one showing how horrible life without Bash is, and the second one showing how nice life with Bash is. Having Bash in the first half really speeds up this dungeon, as does charge jump and grenade and all this other stuff. So Foopyo can now just go through this half of the dungeon, get his checks on of the way, will at least get 6 more checks out of the tree if he just goes until Bash tree and not further. But there's also always the option to go a bit further to the top, check the banana stand as we like to call it. There's always something on there. That's the one proven truth in this tournament. Oh, gets infinited by the portals, but luckily has the safety save right here. So these portals, if you do not reset your momentum by just standing still for a moment before, they really like to throw you back and forth, resetting iframes all over and just damaging you until you have a bad day. But gets through, will now start his mini boss fight. And on the right side, Turtle is happily finding
And
the
we found the
Sunstone.
Sunstone. So
Alright, Turtle has a bit of an advantage here that he does know he is in full go mode as soon as he decides it. Obviously there's always the thing about resources. He doesn't have enough health for the swim in the final escape. The water still being poisonous, he would need at least 1 more health, I think, for that. With Regen it might be barely okay, but you really don't wanna do a minimum health escape if you do not have all the comfort skills. But yeah, with this, our runners are just gonna continue on and get some more of those trees.
yes, and talking about trees, Foopyo is right in front of one right now. It's the Bash tree, and so he doesn't really need the clues from the trees anymore because, well, he has the water vein and the Gumon seed, and he knows. Oh, I have to interrupt myself because look at what we just found.
Yeah, there was something in in the Bash tree. Alright, always. There's always something in Ginso, and in this case, it was double jump. Uh, Double jump being there quite recently, quite often recently. But yeah, with double jump we get a bunch of extra attack. once our runners spend all their ability points in the blue-green T, they can go all the way up to triple jump, so get 1 extra jump out of that. And the really big thing is that using a bash grenade or bashing in general, you can get those bash glides with a bit more momentum than your average moving or bashing, and you can extend that with double jump. So having double jump makes you also go faster with the skill set. So very nice find there from Foopyo, right next to the bash tree, and we'll now be heading over to the left side.
Yes, and as Foopyo is going through Valley, we see Turtle heading to the first skill tree we normally visit, wall jump, and he's, well, this is really hard to say because, well, he has found the Sunstone, but tree-wise he's at a bit of a disadvantage here.
Yeah.
Being 1 tree behind, and that's the bash tree up in Gitzel.
Yeah, Turtle kinda has to start pushing trees a bit more here. On the left, we can see Foopyo going to the left side. Will be able to get 1 or 2 more trees here very easily. And the third one with a bit more trouble up in Sorrow. Sorrow being still a kinda dangerous place on this skill set. Might even use some necromancy up there if we decide to go there right now. But yeah, interesting to see Foopyo grab the ability cell first. I kind of, as much as I love watching Sunstone, I now want to see just some walking over. And yeah, takes the bash glide over to the cutscene, will stomp the Kuro Rocks instead of setting up Stomp Nest. Very good decision here. That, as far as I know, that actually saves time if you do not check the ability cell during it. So gets his next tree right here by bonking Kuro with the rocks, and as we all know, this little feather here is definitely a tree.
Oh yes, this is a, a very strong and sturdy tree. Much like Ori is actually a leaf. Um, we have seen that in the intro animatic, which is amazing, by the way. So yeah, there are some little bit weird things in this game.
Yeah, definitely. But looks like Turtle is off to the Ginso tree with his entire 2 keystones. So once he realizes that he's on the 2 keystones, he is gonna get a bit nervous, I think. But luckily, we know there are 2 more in here, so he will actually have 4 keystones. Alright, with this, our runners
Oh.
are continuing on their tree advantage. Turtle barely getting through here without dying. Very nice. Can now use Bash to skip puzzle rooms, because who needs to do puzzles if you have the skill that you unlock by doing the puzzles? As Foopyo is going into the Misty Woods and continuing on his tree journey.
Yes, and Foopyo is having a bit of trouble here, but well, showing off with a double bash chain here to get up there. But this is understandable because Misty is an area with a lot of spikes and a lot of enemies that want to see you dead. And all of the spikes are very dangerous, do a lot of damage because this is an endgame area. So I think, yeah, as we saw right there, Foopyo will be using that 5 energy he got to make some safety saves here in Misty.
Yes, those also healing you, and as you alluded to, this is the end game area. You get here right after finding Feather or Glide in the vanilla game, and the area is literally called Glide Tutorial. So if you do not have Glide, there are a lot of spikes that really like to hack you. Meanwhile, on the right, Turtle getting lucky with his 2 keystones right here, will not have to do terrible key dupes. Yeah, now heavily circuits his keystone count, got bailed out there by the randomizer. Always nice to see the randomizer not trolling our players for once. We had more than enough of that during this tournament. And will now be reaching his bash tree. And Turtle, please check that experience.
Yeah. Let's see, this is very important for Turtle here. Double jump is not really required to beat a seed, but it's a really nice skill to have, and he gets it. So without glide, areas that like Misty are quite hard, but double jump makes up for that in some ways. So this is a really nice find at a skill tree or right next to a skill tree. So this is really nice for
Yeah,
runners.
definitely. And now it's interesting to see where will Turtle go next. So he still needs 4 trees, the storm tree and all 3 left side trees. This area is the swamp area where the storm tree is. However, he has 0 keystones and that storm tree is locked behind 2 keystones. So let us hope for Turtle, if he goes there, that he will find some keystones on his way. Meanwhile, Foopyo probably setting up for reverse Frankie Walk before remembering, yay, I was already down there. The floor is broken. I have Stomp and will now be going downwards to go search for a Sunstone. We already know where it is. It is in Lost Grove. It is not Swim Lock and it is not Cutscene Lock. So a bit of a relief for him there once he finds it. But for now, the next minute or so will be spent on tracking downward towards that Sunstone.
And it looks like Turtle on the right here has found his keystones on his way to the storm tree. So he was happily circling that. So he has now everything to get into this tree, which I think will be his 7th, if I am correct.
Yeah, this will indeed be his 7th tree, only missing the 3 left side trees. On the left, we are going to see some violence, as is tradition. Not towards final mini-bosses, just a bit of a fight room right here. With this, Foopyo has his Lost Grove Hexes, can go get his Sunstone momentarily. But yeah, Turtle getting a Mapstone on a Mapstone, that is always good to see. What else would you want when you turn in Mapstones and Map Pedestals? And can now use his Keystones to head into the Storm Tree. Has still 2 Keystones left, so if he wanted to do so right now, he could do a single key up on the lower Keystone door, get his 2 remaining Keystones right there without resorting to horrible strats or digging. Let's see if he goes for that or decides to dig a bit more. I would,
And
in his
the,
case, certainly be happy with 1 more half cell. But yeah, that's the Storm Tree, and Foopyo got his Sunstone.
yes, and he checked one more pickup because it was really close by, and then immediately ult out, and he will be heading to one of the remaining trees, and it looks like it will be the charge jump tree first. And after that and Stomp, he will be heading on his way to the final escape. And this is with all these skills, this is a really fast seed. Like, we are barely half an hour in, and Foopyo already has 8 trees and all these skills to make his life easier. So this was a really fast seed.
Yes, indeed. It was very fast. Sad for our runners that we did not get to see Dash so far. But, well, you can't win them all. In this case, we got basically everything else, so that is nice too. Saying hi to Wilhelm here, Foopyo will actually murder this bird instead of checking a pickup or whatever. Oh, that was the right bird. Interesting. So the left bird de-aggroed and the right bird instead went for it. Oh, being a bit low on that last bash, now trying to salvage it, but sadly doesn't have quite enough health to do it this way. Will now continue doing his Sorrow Bash. These 3 double bashes in the randomizer allowing for some very improvised applications of the Sorrow Bash technique, gets into Sorrow second try, very nicely done, and can now start going up, has 4 keystones, so he is not worried about the keystone problem at the final door. I'm interested to see which of all the methods he's deciding to take. The way he murders the frog makes me believe we are gonna see mortar bashes.
Oh yeah, a lot of them, a lot of double bashes, and this is with this mortar projectile, this is really hard because not only has it limited time to get up there, but it's affected by gravity, and there's this small platform and we have to get around it, and it's really precise. So this is a hard strat.
Yeah, these mortar double bashes have been the bane of many runners' existence also in this tournament. And as you alluded to, it is timed. Angles are hard. The thing is affected by gravity in a different way than Ori is. And speaking of Ori, if that shot hits Ori, Ori takes damage and the shot despawns. And we don't need to chain like 2 of these or 10 of these. It's more in the realm of 20 to 30. So definitely a very hard trick, and you need to be precise on your angle inputs all the time. There's an alternative where you can go around the left side, but it takes a lot of time. So basically, as long as Foopyo can get this within like another minute or two, he will be saving time by doing the mortar dashes. Meanwhile, on the right side, Turtle is catching up on tree amount, even though he has the slower trees left. Still needs to go in mid. He takes a bit of a fall into the valley main area. Can double bash out if he also is precise on those angles. Oh, Foopyo on the left, getting around the corner. Just a
Oh,
few more bashes left. One more down and gets it.
he
All right,
gets
Foopyo,
it.
please save. Please save. There are dangerous spikes above you and the dangerous laser. Don't fall into any of them. Save.
And he
All
saved.
right, we are through. GG. All right,
Oh,
gets some shot jump, bash, and 8 upwards. We'll head into Alpha Sorrow, and now is where the fun, or rather, the necromancy begins.
yes, and he makes an extra save of his tile. So, well, he will use the zombie OE strat, which, well, lets us, which uses the save anywhere trick. Um, and we save the moment we die, and that just allows us to respawn with a few iframes and 0 health. And Ori is miraculously still alive. And oh, Foopyo decided to alt R out, so this is an interesting decision. Maybe he's not comfortable with those strats. We will see what he will do next on his way to.
I think he wants ultra defense definitely for the seed, so he doesn't want a zombie on anything that is not ultra defense. As mentioned before, every time you do one of these zombies, you spend ability points, and that can either give you progress to your trees, or it can be in a different tree just to get those extra usages of save anywhere. So the good thing is Foopyo has broken the ceiling, so he only loses the time it takes to get up right valley again. But the bad thing is, well, he did just go up there, then leave out and come back. And that will be quite a bit of time loss for him, sadly. There are I would need to think about how many zombies he actually needed there. There was also the option of going back down and refilling XP, maybe getting a level up and stuff. But thinking of that on the fly in a race is incredibly difficult. And instead, as long as he makes progress on his other trees, yeah, he is gonna make tree progress. And well, with the way this is looking, our runners might be getting their ninth tree pretty much at the same time, and then it is execution and sorrow time.
Yes, so this with that quitting out of Sorrow, Foopyo has lost a bit of time here, and it allowed Turtle to catch up. So we will be seeing who takes this race today.
Yeah, a bit of a technical difficulty there on Turtle's side. Don't worry, we will get that running as soon as possible. But for now, let us watch Foopyo take a fish on a walk. Fishes are not supposed to be that far out of water, but he does not care. Bashes a great skill, gets all the way up. Will now be getting his ninth tree right here at the storm tree. And well, there's one thing between him and the game, and that is Sorrow, and this time he has 6 AP.
Yes, and I think he has a health cell more, if I remember that correctly, and with those 6 ability points he's got, he will be leveling up Ultra Defense very shortly, probably during that zombie. And Ultra Defense is the final upgrade of the green tree, and it basically makes you take a lot less damage, which is really useful up there in Sorrow or even in the final escape.
And we are back with Turtle. We can see on the tracker he did get his climb tree, and our runners are basically shaking hands right now. Turtle getting his 4th keystone, and we are synced on the way to Sorrow after 9 trees. Well, if that ain't something to watch, I don't know what is. So the one hard thing here for Turtle is he has all the ability sets he could ever need to do zombie strats, sure, but his ceiling is still intact. So it basically comes down to who can get A, that Sorrow Bash earlier, and B, who can get back up and zombie strats earlier. Because Foopyo, well, just needs to reach a champion play. Turtle also needs to do those mortar double bashes, or if he can get another way done, and also needs to get into Sorrow in the first place. Sorrow Bash being not a trivial trick. Basically the major roadblock to most speedrun categories, and both are having a bit of a trouble right here.
Yeah, Foopyo didn't actually. Well, he failed it, I think, once, but I think he even saved it. But then he died to one of the frogs up there. They're really mean. They shoot at you with very fast green projectiles, but he gets it again. So he will be heading up to the well, the main room, and will be trying those zombies shortly.
Yes, Turtle also always has the option to start spending his ability sets on Sorrow Bash. He can just zombie through, but it gets
But he
screwed
gets
while
it.
I'm talking about it, because once the commentator talks about it, why would you need that anymore? Just execute, just shows me up instead. Will now be heading into Upper Sorrow. Still have to do Mortar Double Bash, so that is hard, as Foopyo is now restarting that zombie stretch that he showed before. He has, as we mentioned before, 6 ability sets.
It
Oh, gets the
it
beautiful arc through the first room. All right, with this, yeah, gets the save down, and if he spaces these jumps correctly, he gets the 1 zombie. Very nicely done. That is 310 for Foopyo, and he is clearly in the lead right now. All right, on the right side, Turtle now setting up for his mortar double bash chain. Gets a bash back there. That is always annoying to get. If you just bash on basically the last possible frame, the game might just decide you left the range and give you a sad time. Turtle having a bit of a problem with the mortar double bash chain. As alluded to before, there's gravity going on. There's different gravity for yourself going on. There is angles going on and a limited lifetime. Definitely a very hard trick, but looks like he's starting to get in the rhythm. Let me hope I did not just caster curse that, but he seems to be getting around the platform. Just has to take the shot up like 8 more times now. Meanwhile, Foopyo on the left, heading into Horror Fields, can already watch the cutscene, no Kuro coming down there, and can now head over into the final escape. Foopyo definitely hits race to lose, but the final escape, while not the hardest of all, is not trivial either. So let us hope there will be no major deaths in there.
Yeah, and Turtle just got that really hard mortar trick. So if he gets this zombie fast enough, he might have a good chance of catching up here. Um, but of course, as you already mentioned, if Foopyo isn't making mistakes, it's really hard for Turtle to go home with this race.
Yes, indeed. And remember, this is an elimination match, lower bracket, round 1. So this is where it matters. But Turtle gets through, also has enough health, ability points to go for ultra defense. That means Find Escape Water will not be a problem, but you also do not have all the health in the world to do whatever you want. On the left, Foopyo setting up for door warp. This is a very precise trick, has to press up on the first possible moment after game load. There's a bit of buffering going on, but in the end it is basically as close to a frame perfect trick as you can get. Gets it on his third try and is now off into the final escape.
Yes, and Turtle Run is just the trip from the Swarm Teleporter to the final escape behind him. So if Foopyo messes up here a few times, this can be anybody's race.
Yes, but remember, Turtle also has a massive disadvantage in that he is a firm believer in validating seeds, so he will be losing a few seconds on checking that extra pickup. I just know he will after the hour. But yeah, off to the final escape we go after a bit of a rough start there with the first jump from Foopyo is now through the meteor room into the lantern room. Now has to just bash up 3 times here and will get through this. Now, this next one is probably the second hardest thing to do right now in this room, but it's not a problem. Breaks the wall, takes the elemental shot. There's just one thing left, and that is after the swim, there is the kill trigger, and he does not have glide. That means he either needs to do precise double bashes through the trigger, or he can do a precise shot jump, triple jump, gets it without a problem, and with this is just some minor execution. GG Foopyo will be taking down the win in about 43-10 or so, and will be our victor in today's match.
Yeah, and even though both of our runners diverged a few times during the seed, it still was really close as we see Foopyo in this final cutscene here and Turtle just heading into Mount Hole, so this was a really close race.
Yes, depending on how fast Turtle gets through here, we might be seeing both of them in the final escape at the same time. And yes, indeed, he gets his door up first try. Very nice. Now gets 101 experience on the validation. Run valid. Alright, jokes aside, this is more of a meme pickup. There's nothing with actual validating your run by checking this. So this is not an invention for Turtle or anything like that. Will now be starting his final escape as Kuro swoops down on the left side, grabbing Foopyo. Just a bit of Naru between us and an official race time here. And with this, yeah, that's basically it for Foopyo. Just has to roll it right or a bit more. There's one important decision to be made: to Naru hop or not to Naru hop. We are seeing the
And
decision not to Naru hop. GG Foopyo, official time of 43:08:47.
yeah, so this was an amazing race with all the great skills everyone could have ever wished for. Well, maybe except Dash, but well, we never found out where that was. So, um, and um, yeah, this race was really good, really close at the end, and as we see Turtle finishing his finals. Oh no, he
Yeah,
doesn't
took a
have
bit
enough
too
health.
much damage here. He cannot do the poison swim with 0 health, so uh maybe trying to get trying to get a health drop from the mortar decides, alright, whatever, Fufio just finished. I'm just gonna uh restart this final escape, and off he goes again. Has a lot of jumps, can take like one of these meteor hits, but remember there is a poison swim in there. Oh, a bit too late because of the meteors, the knockback. uh, Getting the better out of him will have to restart. All these rooms are on a timer, even if you do not see that too often in these races. If you take a bit too long, Kuro will swoop down and instantly kill you. But with this Turtle, this time without any damage at the start, can now go into his final escape through the Lantern room, into the Elemental room. As mentioned before, this is kinda tricky, but alright, it gets this one, can catch the shot, very nice, and is with full health into the S room this time. So there are 2 things left to do. One is get through here before Kuro catches you, and the way more importantly, way more important thing, skipping the kill plane in the final room. And he is setting up for a different strat, the double grenade bash. Very nice, gets over the trigger, just needs to charge jump up a bit, can now bash into his final cutscene, and GG Turtle with a time of 46:30 or so will also finish out this race, just 3 minutes behind Foopyo. Alright, and as Turtle is holding right here, I see Foopyo already on deck. Let's maybe get Foopyo in here as Turtle is finishing his holding right. GG Foopyo, how are you feeling about this kind of a front-loaded seat?
GG. So this was the complete opposite of my last race versus person. Like we had like half those skills at 10 minutes or something. It was very stressful for me. I'm not a really good jet seat player.
Yeah, but in the end, it did work out. Maybe let's talk about one of the minor hiccups there. Up in Sorrow, you decided to leave and come back later with more ability sets. Were you just looking for more ability sets so you could skill up Ultra Defense for finishing out your seed, or were you looking for something else there?
No, I was looking for keystones because I only had 4 keystones and I still had the swamp to do. And that would say that if I haven't gone to swamp before, I wouldn't have known if I would have need to kidnap or not. I think I should have just kidnapped in Sorrow, but I just forgot about it at the time.
So
Uh,
I have a question for you, Foopyo. As a controller player, what were your thoughts when you found that bash and grenade super early in the seed?
I really disliked Bash Grenade. One, because I'm a controller player and Grenade is really weird on controller. And there's also another thing is that Bash Grenade opens like 80% of the map, and I really don't like when everything opens at once.
Indeed, and it looks like Turtle is also ready for an interview. So let's maybe get him in here and join up on you. GG to you too, Turtle. Just a few minutes behind Foopyo there. Uh, I'm just gonna ask you as well before continuing here. What are your thoughts upon getting a seat as front loaded as this one?
I don't like them like this, actually. Having everything in the beginning like that meant the entire map was open from like minute 1, and I struggled to route, especially in terms of keystones. Like I wanted something like dash or climb as well, but those could be literally anywhere, and so I just kind of like freaked out and kind of went for trees and maybe hoped to find some keystones along the way.
Indeed, Keystones kinda were the name of the routing this scene. Maybe asking for you, Turtle, how scared were you when you entered Ginzo with just 2 of them?
You know what? I wasn't thinking correctly. I forgot about the fact that there was a keystone door. You saw me about at the mini boss, realize, oh hey wait, oh hey wait, circling my thing a lot. Luckily I got bailed out, but that kind of made me like focus on keystones the entire rest of the route, which did help because I found enough. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one more question that I can actually ask both of you here. So Bash was hard dash locked right at the start of the scene. Were you kind of checking a few more things, hoping to get to that dash, or what were your thoughts when you saw that? Maybe starting with you, Foopyo?
Um, I didn't remember the dash was dash lock, so I might be at first maybe started looking for dash, but we had so much things. Like I think it's what when I found Stomp, I was like, oh, I'm in Gomon now, so I didn't really look for dash.
And we just got the information. Dash was indeed in Ginzo, just a bit higher up. So, well, now we know, but obviously couldn't know during the race. But same question to you, Turtle. Was that dash lock bash in the back of your mind at any point during the seat?
Yeah, I mean, of course, because dash can't be bash locked, but at the same time, considering all the other skills we had, even if something like climb or sorrow TP or valley TP was left, it could also be left side anywhere. So I just didn't want to focus on finding that because I thought it would waste a lot of time trying to find it, and turns out, yeah, upper Ginso, that would have wasted some time.
So, Foopyo, as you won this match, you will face Aussie in the next match. So, what do you think of your opponent there? Do you have any thoughts on that, or are you just going in like, yeah, I'm gonna race today. I want to have fun.
Well, I don't really know Ossi. I just saw his race versus Matter and versus Didier. I'm not really scared of Ossi. I think I'm a better player than he is, but well, it's Rondo and everything can happen in Rondo, so
Yeah, definitely true. We have seen some incredible upsets in Rando before. Rando gets the better of all of us. Solarian, do you have any more questions for our runners here, or should we head over and talk a bit about what's coming next?
I think all my questions were answered by the runners, and I just want to say it was an amazing performance. GG's to both of you, and we have a match tomorrow at 4 p.m. EDT. It's Shave versus Apple Tree, and this will be an interesting matchup. So I hope this was a nice race for all of you, and so there's and 3 hours after that match there will be another one, and so yeah, any last words, Sam? So
Yeah, of course. Thank you, all of you who were here with us. Thanks for Mel and Fox for tracking, Fox being last minute replacement. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Chris, for the restream. Thank you, Solarian, for commentating with me. Thanks to our runners for showcasing. And of course, thanks to all of you, of our viewers, who are tuning in to see these Ori matches. And I hope to see you all tomorrow for Schaefer's Apple Tree as well as Grumelius versus Lotus, and then further on in the tournament. Bye bye!
bye.